What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Three View. Today, we are joined by Minnesota Wilderness head coach Chris Ratzloff. How's your offseason been going?
It's been great. It's a little warmer up north than I like it, but it's been good. Playing in some local golf outings up here to try to support the community, so that's been fun.
Nice, there you go. So we'll hop right on into things. So you bring 6 years worth of coaching experience and in the NA3HL to the Wilderness program. How has the time in the league shaped your coaching philosophy?
I think every year you learn a little bit, so I don't think there hasn't been any major changes, but every year maybe a few adjustments to playing style end goal as far as what these players need to be able to advance into the North American League or higher. So I think just little changes every year with learning.
And you came in the middle of the season last year. How are you approaching having, a full off season to prepare, whether that's training camp and, overall just building your roster out?
I think it's more of a typical off season for me. That's the first time I've ever been brought in partway through a season, so that was different. Quite a learning experience for me. But I think this year the approach has been similar to the way it was in Rochester and Chippewa. Do a lot of recruiting, did a lot of scouting last year when I got up here. It's fun for me because it's a different player pool from what I'm used to seeing every week. So that was fun for me. But I think it's a similar approach to what we did in Rochester, just try to identify players that have potential to play above this league and hopefully we get them here, get them developed and the time that they need, the experience to be able to make that move up.
And you just touched on it yourself that was kind of the first time that you had been brought in mid-season. I'm sure it was quite hectic. What was the biggest takeaway from for you having, been going through that?
I think the biggest thing was just to get here, learn the players, learn the area, and kind of learn where they were at for the season. I didn't want to obviously come in and make major changes with just half a season left or whatever it was. I think we played 3 games before I ran a practice. Um, so it was just trying to get here, try to learn the personnel and learn the rest of the staff and I just wanted to make sure that they felt comfortable with what they were doing, not make any changes, and hopefully we could slowly make the changes that I would like to see. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, no secret that the West Division is arguably not the toughest division in the NA3HL. How did you prepare your team to battle night in and night out, knowing that it was always going to be such strong competition?
We prayed a lot. No, I'm just kidding. We did. We always do. But it was mostly just make sure we're in shape, we're ready to compete. With making adjustments to the systems, it was more important that we just showed up and competed hard every night. It's similar to what we had in the Central.
Mhm.
Was that Central before? I can't remember. Central before, where if you take a night off, you're probably in trouble. So it was just working on preparation, just being ready for the guys to show up and make sure that we competed hard every night. It's a great division. I really enjoy it. Getting to coach against DJ and Cruiser and Sandino's back in it. So it's good to get playing against these guys every weekend. It's a lot of fun.
And when we take a look at the division standings, you guys finished just 1 point shy of playoff contention. What lessons did your team take from that, and how can you use that as motivation, moving forward to this upcoming year?
I think the biggest takeaway for that is, you know, don't don't lose the season by having a down streak where I think we lost like 8 or 9 in a row when I first got here, and then capped it off with I think winning 8 out of the last 9 or something like that. But just I think giving games away, um, you never know when that one point is going to come into play, and that's 2 years in a row for me personally. So that's a little tough, but it's I think it's just making sure you're ready to play. Don't make it easy for them to take points from you. If they earn it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But just giving them away, I think, is the tough thing.
And you guys are obviously affiliated with the NAHL Wilderness Club. You guys are located in the hockey-rich state of Minnesota. Does that benefit, your recruiting process, knowing that you have that affiliation and knowing that the player talent in Minnesota is, incredible?
I think it does. Um, the player pool is incredible. And like I said before, that's been fun for me to be up here in the north. But I think I think with the uncertainty of what the junior hockey landscape looks like right now, I think it's just important to work close with Steps and Cloquet and make sure that if he has something that he's interested in a younger player, that we're going out and we're looking for those types of players. So hopefully we can be kind of a springboard to get guys to Cloquet eventually. And our owner wants to promote guys wherever they can play. So it's not just a one-way ticket to Cloquet. It's wherever they fit the best. So that's kind of what we're looking for, identify those younger players that hopefully we can move on.
And going off of that, you had a player, Mark Denoyer, who went from playing with the Wilderness and then got called up to the Minnesota Mallards in the NA. How rewarding of an experience is that for you, knowing that your players are in fact getting those shots at the next level?
Yeah, it was good, Markey. It was good for Markey to get that opportunity. I think we also had Tyler Webb and Tyler Starch played games with the Wilderness, so that was good experience for them too. Um, that's kind of what we're looking for, those types of players that can get that call up when they deserve it and when there's a need. So we're in contact with Steps obviously and Cloquet and then different coaches around the North American League, all the time, just so that they know that if they have a need, we hopefully have a player that's available to fill that need for a short time or long term or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of a fun question. So your son Brandon coaches in Rochester, and you've touched on your time in Rochester a little bit here. How cool of an experience is that for you to have family, working the same profession that you do?
It's very cool. It's very cool. It's going to be very cool when we play them September 5th and 6th in our exhibition games. So that'll be a lot of fun being on opposite benches. We did get to have the cool experience. I took him to Alaska for our first trip last year. My assistant couldn't make it, so it was kind of nice that he got to come along, share that experience. So that was fun to coach with him. It's the first time we've ever had that experience, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to coach against him.
Yeah, I'm sure. And as we look forward to this upcoming year, what are some of the biggest areas of focus that you're putting your time into to improve the wilderness program for this year?
We've got a great athletic trainer, and she also does our fitness with the guys. So we are going to have a 4 day a week workout for them this year. So we're just trying to find ways that we can give them all the tools that they need to be able to advance, whether it's nutrition, off ice training, extra skill sessions, anything that we can do to just give them the tools. Obviously, what they do with it is up to them, but we just want to make sure that we're providing whatever we can to give them the opportunity to advance.
And to wrap things up here, the season is quickly approaching. You just mentioned you're playing those exhibition games, which is a month from when we're recording this. What benchmarks do you have for the Wilderness for 2025?
Oh, we haven't sat down and talked about that yet. We have our main camp coming up here in 2 weekends.
Mhm.
And I think after we get through that, we'll sit down with our leadership group and we'll kind of set those. I like those to be kind of a group team thing that we do together. Obviously I think the biggest thing for me is maybe getting 5 or 6 guys opportunities in the North American League. So that's probably the only thing that I have myself. But as far as team benchmarks, we'll sit down and we'll talk about that when the guys get to town, and we'll set those as a group.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on this call today, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thanks, Britt. Appreciate all you guys do for us.